Let us understand what is profitability or contribution margin. So far, we just understood how we calculate the popularity. So you should practice it with the menu engineering sample file that I will be uploading to the course to see how much is your understanding, and you can approach both the different ways of calculating by using the percentage or by using the average quantity sold. So now let's talk about the profitability. So profitability or contribution margin, as you would understand, is usually the extra profit that is going to say. So the formula for calculating the profitability or contribution margin is average selling price minus the standard recipe cost. So let us understand these two things differently because they are very important. So average sales price here, sometimes we change the price during the month, sometimes we do the promotion, sometimes we give discounts, we have friends, we are giving certain discounts to use the menu. So the average selling price will be net of discounts and everything else. If we are if we are promoting the item with the deep discount, then it should be after the deep discounts, because we do not want it to be affected, do not want to get menu engineering report affected by using the standard selling prices when we are actually giving the discounts. And standard recipe cost is being used because usually you cannot calculate the actual cost of food or actual food, especially in hospitality, for each particular menu separately, because you are cooking it in a combined basis. So what we use is the standard recipe cost. In factories where you are where you are producing the product in a common environment, same, you would be using a standard cost for that particular product. But if you are in a retail item, then the standard cost for the retail, the purchase price, the logistics will be similar. So even in those cases, you should be calculating standard cost by taking the purchase cost, by adding the warehouse, or by the other transportation cost or selling cost or handling cost, so that you can get some basic idea of which item is more profitable. Usually this is the how we and how. So this number is need to be compared with the average profitability per item to understand which item is giving us the higher profit and which item is giving us the lower profit. So the things to note here, as we have discussed, is recipe cost should be updated to the latest. Normally in a hospitality setup, the recipe costs are reviewed every 6 months or every 3 months or at every season in minimum. So usually you need to make sure by the when you are looking at the menu engineering report is that the recipe cost is updated to the latest, unless there are less, maybe 3 months or 6 months, unless you have reasons to believe that the costs are outdated because there is just a recent recent incidents in the market which has increased the cost, or there are other factors which you believe that the cost may not be correct. So you can take our course to learn how to calculate the recipe separately. So we are not going to discuss that now. If there is any other promotion running for that particular item, adjust the selling price, as it will affect the profitability. So that was the profitability. So now how to calculate that is more profitable or less profitable, right? So first thing we have to do is to understand what is the average contribution per item in that particular menu group. For example, so in an example, when we calculate the popularity, we calculated total sales divided by number of menu items to calculate average items sold in that group. So similarly, we will be calculating total contribution by that particular group in terms of gross profit and then number of items sold in that particular group to calculate what is the average contribution per item sold in that group. So we will look at example to explain you in a better manner, and then we will compare with the individual contribution margin. So contribution margin is pretty familiar, pretty similar, pretty simple. So let us compare here. As you can see, I have used another group appetizer here instead of salad. So you will be able to see the menu total contribution here. In menu contribution is 105,966. The total number of items sold are 106. So average profit for the item becomes 999. Now whatever item is contributing more than 0.999 will be considered as high. So it's not 105,000, it's 105.9966 dollars. The items are 106 in total. So the average contribution for each product is 0.966, so 0.9966, right? Here you can see that. uh, so here you will be seeing the individual item contribution is most of the item are contributing in the range of 1.5 to 1.1. Only one item is contributing 0.263, which will be considered as low profitable, and one item is contributing $4.5, so it will be considered as high. The rest of the items are also considered as high contribution because they are almost giving almost similar results. So that is called profitability. So you can recheck here your understanding based on the popularity mix that we discussed earlier. One way was, remember that total items sold is 106, number of item are 11, so on an average we are talking about around 9.5 or 10 quantities per portion. So whichever is selling more than 10, for example potato chips will be considered as high material margin, 12, 15 and 12 and 13. So here one item number 7 is also considered as high. Because of this report is discussing the another way and using the other way of calculating the popularity, which is 100 divided by 11, which becomes around 9, multiply by 70%, so which becomes around 6.36. Here you can see that. So anything which is more than 6.36 will be considered as high. So because of that, rambutan is coming as high. You need to understand one more thing here is, if you use 80% or 90%, it would become higher amount. In that case also you would see only the high amount, only a few items would be coming as high in popularity. So if you have a lot of items in the menu, you need to increase the percentage. If you have less items in the menu, you can reduce the percentage. Or if you want to focus on more items, for example here you have a lot of star items, we will be understanding how to grade them later on. So then you can consider a lower percentage, or if you want to consider very less items as popular, then you can use a higher percentage. So I hope that is clearer to you. If you have any questions, you can stop by and comment and ask me for any clarification.